Hello? Hey, I think you mute your mic, so I can't hear you right now.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hi there.
Yes, thank you very much. So Hioki is Leo is moderator, so he will asking a question. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
One moment. Yeah, we start streaming now. Okay, one moment. Yeah.
No problem. Yep. Take your time.
One moment. Okay, you'll be online now.
A few minutes left to start, and yeah, I'm so happy to see you. Jimmy, are you hearing?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you now. There's a little bit of echo, but I can't hear you clearly. But yeah.
Thank you. Where are you now?
I'm in Beijing right now. I'm actually leaving. I'm going back to New York tomorrow. So it's a Spring Festival. So I'll stay here for a day. And we have roughly 80 employees here in China. So I spend half of my time here.
I see. Maybe Beijing is really cold now, right?
Yes, it's getting better. Last month was the worst. It was like I think minus 10 degrees Celsius. Yeah, right now it's fine. I was in Tokyo actually a month and a half ago. I think it was it was like way better there, I think.
Oh, really? So did you come to Japan for meeting something?
Yeah, so I was there to just talk to some investors last time. It was roughly 2 months ago. Yeah, so it's been a while. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So next time, please let me know. Okay, we should meet.
No problem. I like Tokyo.
Yeah.
Okay, can we start?
Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay. ではですね、今日、IOST のオンラインミートアップに集まっていただきありがとうございます。今日は日本語と英語どっちも使うんですけど、なるべく、日本コミュニティ用ですので、日本語をどんどん、使っていきたいと思いますし、質問の方はどんどん日本語でしていただいて結構です。ではよろしくお願いします。今日のモデレーターは、ヒヨキ・レオナという名前の、ですね、ツイッターでは極度妄想という名前で、活動している、基本的にプロトコルリサーチをしているものなんですが、今日はIOST のコミュニティのモデレーターをさせていただくことになりました。よろしくお願いします。Thank you for coming to IOST Japan's online meetup. Maybe it's first time to have this opportunity. And today's main topic is ask anything to Jimmy Zhong. And we use both of Japanese and English, so it can be a little bit strange session, but I beg your comprehension. So, before, maybe many people see Jimmy Zhong first time, and we are interested in IOST because it's a truly decentralized system. It can be, and I want to. Would you like to have comment for us, because we have time to?
Yeah.
We know you not yet.
Okay, so the connection is kind of spotty. So can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay. So I think just a really quick introduction about myself and about IOST. So personally, I was born in China. I went to the US for college. Stayed there for 7 years. Did my first startup when I was in college. I sold it for $40 million in 2015. Then in 2017, I came back to China and started this project called IOST. So IOST is a decentralized platform that we're trying to build a fully decentralized and more scalable of Ethereum. And in short, we did indeed build a better Ethereum already. The mainnet is launching next month. We have a lot of traditional VCs, that were backing us, including the famous ones like Sequoia Capital, Matrix Partners. Those are the VCs that backed Apple, Alibaba, or Cisco, big companies like those before, and they were also our investors. So in the year of 2017, we raised 40 million US dollars, and right now we have a team over 130 people in China and the United States, and we also have a few other guys in Korea, Japan, Singapore for marketing. So that's basically it. The purpose for this meeting is because we are launching our mainnet in about just 23 days right now, I think. And I think for the first time, people from blockchain can witness a product that's both scalable and decentralized. And we also have a pretty strong ecosystem built on top of it. So we're pretty confident that in the year of 2019, we are going to bring over 100 million users onto the IOST network and make IOST one of the best projects out there. Compared to US, Ethereum, I think we can do better.
Thank you very much. Remarkable career and moves. And yeah, before we have a question for you, I have a gift for you.
Oh, hey.
Gift, and I will post on Twitter. I will mention you. And 太田さん、映してもらえます？
Wow, okay. That's pretty cool. You made this?
Yeah, I generated this today's morning and this morning. And, yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Those are very cool. Yeah, thank you.
IOST logo is, I think, simple and well designed, I think. And recently I found many some people started making IOST art.
Oh.
And I saw
this is so cool.
Terence, CTO of IOST, retweeting the IOST art. So I tried to make somehow.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Please share this online and I'm going to retweet it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned you and I tweeted. Yeah, later, please.
Yeah, this is nice. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I was invited to this seat simply because I have compared many consensus algorithms and smart contract platform in analytic way of thinking, and I published many reports. And the one article of IOST struck my eye, and I started to interest in this ecosystem. And I met Terry. I met Terry last month.
Oh, okay.
And
you met
talked with him. Yeah. And okay, the first question I choose from the pool is what's your mission of CEO of IOST? これから質問するのはですね、ジミーは、iOS の CEO ですけど、CEO の、役割について聞いてみたいなというふうに、思っております。I talked with Terence last month, and he was a remarkable person that the technical white paper was mainly written by him. And on the other hand, I heard that you designed the purpose and all of this movement. Is that correct?
So yeah, so basically, we actually have a team of I think 6 co-founders at first. Some of them were previously working for investment banking like Goldman Sachs. Some of them were, NOI or IOI, those international, competition. Those are winners and champions. So those are the so-called genius we normally refer. And Terrence himself he's a friend. I've been knowing him for years, and he's from Princeton. And so basically, I think, including myself, I'm a computer science major as well. So I think pretty much everyone on the team is semi-technical or technical, and we also have some marketing talents here. I think in terms of myself, I'm in charge of a lot of things, including the actual development of the project, also including the marketing process. Of course, we have co-founders taking care of them independently, but I need to coordinate all the process and make sure everything has been put together. And I think so far, we were able to grow from a 6 people team to over 130 people globally right now. So I think we've been doing pretty well. Yeah.
I see. And what do you think about your mission of CEO?
Yeah, so I think the mission of IOST is going to be my mission as a co-founder of this team. Since we're building a decentralized project, it's a foundation based. So I don't normally refer myself as CEO or whatever, but that's more like a traditional title. So if you go check out my Twitter, it says co-founder of IOST. But regardless, I'm leading the project. So I think my mission here is the mission of IOST. And in the year of 2018, we were majorly developing one of the first, I think actually the first working scalable and decentralized network. There are decentralized network like Ethereum or Bitcoin, and there were a scalable project like EOS, but we don't think that's decentralized enough. I think there were other concerns with supernode system. But I think for us, for the first time, we are launching something that's fully decentralized and scalable. And we are going to bring, as I said, over 100 million users in 2019 from the blockchain world and outside the blockchain world, and make these people use IOST, as an infrastructure or something else. And I think that's my mission here. My mission here is make sure, IOST is building something meaningful and can actually be used by mass public.
Thank you. そうですね、ジミーは、IOST はですね、世界中にコミュニティがあって、世界中に支部を置いてるんですね。で、そこを全部総括しているのがジミーです。で、IOST のミッションなんですけど、IOST、ウェブサイトを行くとですね、400倍イーサリアムより早く、そして10倍、EOS より、分散化、非中央集権化し、する、チェーンを作って続けていくというのを、ミッションに掲げております。そうですね。では、次の質問をピックアップしていきましょう。OK。I heard that、これから質問するのはですね、ジミー、さんから見て、この日本に目をつける理由とか、日本の利点というのは何かというのを聞いていきたいと思います。I heard IOST chain is treating Japan and Japanese market as a third biggest ecosystem in this world, and you're focusing on Japan somehow and partly. And what do you think? What kind of benefit and what kind of the future Japan has? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I think first of all, I'm a big fan of the Japanese culture. I think Tokyo, among everywhere, is basically my favorite city. I think a few years ago, I was thinking of buying a buying a property in Tokyo and potentially move there in the future. But I love Japanese food and stuff. But that's not why we're focusing on the Japanese market for IOST. I think the most important thing is that we think there in terms of crypto, although there's I think pretty tough regulation going on in Japan, but I think Japanese people and especially developers and also government too, I think they have a relatively positive attitude in terms of crypto and blockchain. Although there are regulations, but I think it's going to the right direction, right? I think when there is a new thing coming out, sometimes the government has a strict policy to kind of limit the technology or something. But gradually, I think there'll be better policies in the future. And I think obviously, during our I think safari here for the last year, that we've noticed that there are a lot of awesome developers in Japan. Especially, since we are building an operating system, we're building the infrastructure, right? So imagine we're building Windows, we're building Mac OS. Now, if we're building Android, we need to have developers to build games, build content, build applications on top of it, right? And I think there are a lot of awesome developers, bigger companies or smaller groups in Japan that are interested in IOST and that are willing to work with us. So we're very excited. I think right now we're already in touch with multiple Japanese companies and also Japanese development groups trying to develop more the apps, applications on top of IOST, especially games. I think that's one of the strongest thing that Japanese culture holds. That you guys have a lot of awesome games and animations, things like that. So we're very pumped. I think it's going to be a big focus for us in the year of 2019. We're going to spend a lot of time in Japan, spend a lot of time working with the Japanese developers.
Thank you very much. ジミーさんは、そうですね、もともと日本の、文化が結構好きで、当選に住んでくれるかどうか分かりませんけど、そして、日本のデベロッパーの、コミュニティが、結構強いと。IOST は OS というのを、考えていますので、Windows や Mac が、世界中に広がっていたのと同じように、日本に、OS として IOST が入っていって、その上で、多くのアプリケーションが作られていくことというのを、考えているそうです。ではですね、そろそろ、どのぐらい、この IOST に具体的に参加できるのかという話をそろそろ聞きたいかなというふうに思いますので、では、そうですね、どういうふうに聞きましょうか。基本的に IOST は、パートナーノードっていうのと、あとサービノードっていうのがあって、費用をかけて参加するサービノードと、費用を全く持たない、パートナーノードが存在すると。ですね、IOST を有望だと思って、入りたいとか、楽しそうだというふうに思って入りたい場合でも、ちょっといろいろ聞かないと、入り方はわからないと思うので、ちょっと聞いていきたいかなと思います。ではですね、10万円を持っていたら、どういうふうに入るのが適切かというのを聞いてみましょう。Okay. Many people are interested in IOST and they are going to join the network, but they don't know how to join the network at first. And what do you recommend if one person have $1,000 and want to join the IOST network or mining?
Yeah. So in terms of mining, I think people were referring to a proof of work system like Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? We are not proof of work. So you can earn tokens here by becoming an IOST partner or becoming a node. But theoretically, you're not mining this. You're hosting a server. It's more like a proof of stake system where you basically become a partner and other people need to stake their tokens on your node, or they need to vote for you to become a partner of the IOST network. So currently, if you go to our voting website, it's a temporary voting portal right now called iost.biss.com. You can check out more rules there. It's iost.biss.com.
BASS.com.
Yeah, BISS. So BISS, iost.biss.com. Yeah. So if you visit there, you can check out the current voting process. So at IOST, we are completely different than EOS or Tron or other delegated proof of stake system, where everyone, including anyone in the community, has a chance of becoming our partners, of becoming one of the node, right? So all you need to do is go to the website. There is a banner up there where you can fill out the form, and you can file application and tell us that why you want to become IOST node. And I think 2.1 million IOST will get you elected. You don't have to buy the token and vote for yourself. If you do the contribution to the community, say if you're a KOL or key opinion leader on Twitter or somewhere, right? You can produce a video for us, talk about IOST, and then other people will vote for you, because for people who have IOST right now, if they vote for a strong candidate, potentially like you, right? They can make money. They can make reward, because we have a reward for people who are voting for the good candidates. Or if you're a developer, we're working with multiple dev groups in Japan already, like Crypto Ninja, right? So if you want to build the app on IOST, you're also welcome to fill out the form and become one of our serving nodes, become our partner here. And basically, we are gonna, as long as you actually build a game or build something on IOST, we're gonna ask the community to vote for you, because you're making contribution to the system. So we can make some actual revenue here for you. Not only that, if you're building things on IOST, for all the transaction that's going on through your game onto the IOST network, you get 30% of that transaction fees. So I think, I'm not sure where our Japanese team published our article in the Japanese community, but if you read English, go to IOST's website or check out our Twitter at IOST token. You can find our articles on medium.com about our specific rules of how do we get nodes elected and how do you join the election. But there's no upper limit and there's no technical barrier. If you don't know how to host a server and you just want to help us with marketing, that's fine too. We have third party here to help you resolve technical issue. So it's completely tax-free, and you don't need to buy the token. All you need to do is fill out the form and help us, right? As long as you're helping us, we'll make sure everyone's get fair compensation.
Thank you very much. そうですね、IOST、BAS.com というところで、そこに、行ってですね、いろんな貢献をしているノードっていうのが、サービノードや、パートナーノードとして参加することができます。どういうふうに貢献するかっていうのが、Believability っていう指標に、反映されてですね、このBelievabilityによって報酬が得られるというシステムに基本的にはなっていたと思います。そうですね、貢献度とか、そのBelievabilityを上げるためにどうするのかっていうのに対して、いろいろ記事を書いたりというのもありますし、DApps を作ったりというのも、手段として、受け入れられております。そうですね、そんな感じで。ではですね、ちょっと僕から一つ質問が、したい感じでして、今後のちょっとロードマップについて、ス ケーラビリティをどういうふうに確保していくのか。IOST はシャーディングという技術を使って、スケールしていくっていう予定があるんですけど、どのように、順調かどうかちょっと聞いてみたいですね。I want to ask a question about roadmap.
Yeah.
IOST have a scaling plan, and it's mainly driven by the technology of sharding, and sharding. About sharding, I want to ask. Only Jirica project in Singapore achieved to deploy sharding on testnet currently. And how much are you confident in sharding scaling and scaling roadmap? I saw the roadmap, and maybe this year, the earlier half of this year, you deployed mainnet, and it's in website. I saw that there's a side chain in the roadmap, and how about the sharding? Are you going well?
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say that the core technology of IOST is not sharding. It's our consensus protocol called POB, a proof of believability. That's our core technology. So sharding has never been our core technology. It's a solution to make our consensus protocol even faster, right? But right now, even without sharding, we are able to support 8,000 transactions per second already with hundreds of nodes. No one has ever done this before. No one, right? EOS is fast because they only have 21 nodes, right? 21 super nodes here. Tron is fast because they only have 17, right? Ethereum is slow because they have hundreds of thousands of nodes. And we are going to be the first one here that supports layer one solution only that supports up to 8,000 transactions per second with hundreds or thousands of nodes. So we're the first one that has done this, and it's going to be launched in 1 month. Second of all, I think sharding in general is going really well internally within your team. Zilliqa actually just launched their mainnet a few days ago, but if you actually look into it, it does not support anything, right? It cannot process transaction. It cannot process smart contract. So it's an unfinished product. And they call this a mainnet launch, but it's not an official launch. So they haven't finished developing the project. Sharding right now, we divide them into state sharding and transactional sharding, right? So state sharding in particular is harder because to support smart contract on sharding, you have to conquer a lot of technical barrier from distributed system, not only blockchain. So technically, this could take a long time for any project on Earth to figure this out. But as I said, because of a consensus protocol proof of believability here, this is not necessary for us, right? And whenever we figure this out, we are going to put this solution on top of our consensus protocol. So each shard is going to run an independent POB. So we're still going to be way faster than the project with sharding alone, right? And transactional sharding has been doing pretty well. And then we're going to adopt this technology at some point this year to make the network even faster. But right now, I don't think speed is the bottleneck for blockchain. I think the ecosystem, the use case are the things that we need to focus on. So I want to talk about that in a little bit. But I think just to answer the question, everything's going really well. We are building a revolutionary product here, and it's going to be reviewed in just a month. So I'm very excited.
I think. Thank you very much. そうですね、シャーディングに関しては、今は速さがボトルネックになっていませんので、基本的に今の一番最初に向き合う、2019年の上半期、少なくとも 向き合う、課題ではなさそうだと。シャーディングはですね、どのエコシステムもやっぱジリカっていう、一番シャーディングに力を入れているプロジェクトがあるんですが、そこも含めて、まだちゃんとデプロイできたものは存在しないと。で、基本的に IOST のコアなテクノロジーっていうのは、コンセンサスアルゴリズムのプルーフ・オブ・ビリバビリティです。で、これによって、今一番ブロックチェーンに問題になっている、そのユースケースと、あとはマスアダプションですね、に関する部分っていうのを解決するのが、彼が一番最初にフォーカスしたいところがそうです。ではですね、次の質問に入りたいと思います。Just a moment.
No worries.
Okay. Okay, I pick up one question.
Yeah.
そうですね。ノードの参加者が、参加する、ICAC っていう、ミーティングが、つい最近、昨日ですね、あったそうですね。これは IOST Core Arbitration Community という、先ほど言いました、パートナーノードとか、サービノードとか、いろんなノードの参加者が、最初に、集まったそうですが、そこの様子についてちょっと聞いてみましょう。Could you kindly tell me how was how the meeting yesterday
Yeah.
ICAC was?
Yeah. So ICAC is the meeting that we're going to be constantly holding in the future regularly. I think roughly one time a week or something like that, or maybe twice a month. So yesterday we've gathered all the partners and the elected nodes, specifically from Asia, to talk about the governance of IOST, right? Each one of them has talked about how they're going to contribute onto the IOST network in the next 3 months. And we are going to host a few more meetings like this in America, in Europe, and other regions. After we've done that, we're going to gather everyone together from just basically all over the globe. And we're going to talk about how to distribute the reward from the foundation, because right now I think 4% of IOST will be distributed to all the partners each year. 2% was coming from the community, or it's going to be given by the community. By the foundation. So we're going to have meetings and discuss how we're going to distribute those based on the contributions that every single partner or node is going to make. And it's going to be a voting process. So we want to hand the governance to the community instead of having a centralized party like the foundation to decide everything, right? So I think gradually we're going to give IOST the power to the community and have our partners or nodes to decide the future of IOST and build IOST together. And hopefully together we can bring over 100 million users this year with the effort from everyone. Yeah.
Thank you very much. 昨日の、話では、IOST のガバナンスについて話し合ってですね、アジアの、その県におけるノード参加がしたに関してが次第だったそうです。トークンディストリビューションに関して、IOST というのはすごく気を使っていますので、トークンディストリビューションが、ガバナンスの問題として一番最初に議論されたという話ですね。僕は最初間違って最初に行われたミーティングみたいに言いましたけど、かなり頻繁に行われているそうです。追加ですね。じゃあこれ聞いてみます。What do you think about the election outcome so far? Is there a target total number of votes that you want to achieve at mainnet launch, and how do you expect to meet it?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say that the election is a continued process. It does not end when we launch the mainnet. So although we are going to have hundreds or thousands of nodes, unlike EOS, I only have 21, but the election process is very similar. So basically, you can still vote, and there will still be votes staked after the mainnet launch. So we don't specifically have a target of votes the next month, but I can tell you that in the last 14 days, we were able to get roughly, I think, right now we're close to 1 billion votes already, right? So in the last 2 weeks, we're able to get roughly 1 billion votes. So I think, in the next month, I think we have a month away from launching the mainnet. Maybe you can get 1 more billion, if not 2. And I think after the mainnet launch, gradually, maybe you can get more. Maybe we'll stay at the same level. But I want to say that this is a continuous process. It's not a one-time voting thing. The voting will be going on constantly every single day, forever.
I see. Thank you very much. In addition, I want to ask token distribution. IOST Foundation and core members are going to have a very few percentage of whole assets on that blockchain, right? Ethereum, when they had I feel they had a lot, and it's still now they have much assets on chain, and EOS is started I feel as well, and still have strong right to get rewards of 21 BPs, and IOST seems to have a very distributed token percentage now. And what are you aiming, and what are your intention and philosophy? I want to ask you that.
So sorry, can you repeat your last question? What am I?
Yeah, what's your intention? The very few percentage of assets that founders holding and.
Oh, okay. So how are we going to distribute the IOST and things like that? Okay, so right now the foundation holds 35% of IOST. And it's going to be, it's already locked, and it's going to be, so there will be new plan of locking this token up for a long time. It's going to be released after the mainnet launch, but it's already locked. The address is public. So if you just go to Etherscan right now, because we're still ERC20 now, as of now, at least, you can check out the address. All the tokens are there. In terms of the team, every single one on the team is working on this project for the long run, right? So we're not trying to cash out or do anything. I think personally, I've acquired actual IOST on the secondary market on Binance and exchange already. So I've been buying, and I think the team members have been doing the same thing. We also have a 4-year vesting plan for the team, where you don't get the IOST, you get it every single month for the next 4 years. I think for the next 3 years, because it's been a year. So don't worry about the team selling off or something. We're going to be fine. Everyone's holding here, and we've been trying to do this in the long run.
We are very surprised that IOST have a strong token distribution rather than Ethereum and EOS. And then Arata has come in, joining us, and he had a question for you. Maybe one question for you now, and please, Arata-san.
もしもし、はい。
どうも。ですね、今ちょうど僕の質問が一つ終わったところですので。
はい、僕の5分でって言われているので、 ちょっ
はい、どうぞ。
と簡単になってしまうんですけれども、
はい、よろしくお願いします。
ちょっと待ってもらっていいですか、ごめんなさい。
はい。
あれ、どこだったかな。よいしょ。Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
My name is Arata. I'm from Crypt Times.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I have a question. What do you think is the most important in expanding the IOST ecosystem?
Yep.
For example, blockchain technology using is advanced in every country. However, none of the projects have progressed to social implementation yet. In the future, I think that is necessary to social implementation in terms of creating an ecosystem. What is necessary for that?
Yeah, so I want to answer this question in multiple aspects. So I think at IOSC we take ecosystem very seriously. As I said in the previous interview, I think ecosystem is probably the most important thing for any single project right now. It's not about how fast you are. It's not about anything. It's about how many users you can bring. It's about can you create real use cases for blockchain, or can you find a real use case, right? I think here we'll be trying multiple things. Number one is that we'll be working with all the developers all over the globe, including developers from Japan, from Korea, from China, from United States, from European countries too. That at least right now we're in touch of roughly 100 teams already. All of them will be building things on IOST. It varies from games to content distribution, to prediction market, decentralized exchange, advertising network, and more. And I think you guys will see a lot of applications like those in the next half year. I think gradually from starting March, there will be applications published on IOST. So that's number one. And number two is that not only being not only will be getting in touch with all of these teams, we're inviting them to be our partners, but also, we have started a $30 million fund recently, and previously a $50 million fund called Blue Hill. So combined together is roughly $80 million we've gathered together to invest into the IOST ecosystem in the next 5 to 10 years. We have a lot of LPs as well putting money into this fund. The goal for us is very straightforward. We want to invest in anyone that are interested in building things on IOST. We want to invest in any team that's interested in working with us to explore the use case of blockchain. So that's we have enough fund to do this, and we have the intention to do this. And number three is that not only we'll be working with a team outside of IOST, internally we're doing multiple things. So we'd like to consider us as the company or the foundation that's building a operating system like Windows or Mac OS, right? I think in order for the users to use the operating system or the technology, they have to use the application, and we can't just count on the outside developers to build everything for us, right? So we want to also build, say, Microsoft Office. We want to build, Adobe Photoshop, whatever, ourselves on the system we're building on IOST, right? So internally, we have two teams. One of them called Theseus. Theseus is a team that's been focusing on building the apps on IOST. Right now, you haven't seen any product they've built because IOST hasn't launched the mainnet yet. But we're going to launch the mainnet in a month, and you're going to see the product Theseus built. It's very cool. It has games, has other things too, but it's very, very cool. And this team was invested by famous venture capitalists like Sequoia Capital, Matrix Partners too. So it's a very decent team with very strong engineering resource. And on the other hand, we have a separate team incubated internally called Burn. So BERM is a team backed by Matrix Partners, Zhenfang, and a few other top VCs in China. The team is located in the United States right now, and they're focusing on building a content distribution network, especially focusing on short video and newsfeed. And this will be built on IOST as well. Right now, they're building a beta, and they've launched 2 projects already in 2018. One of them is a decentralized blockchain news called Bermino. Bermino was able to get over 2 million sign up in the last 6 months, and their official product called Bermi, which was focusing on newsfeed and content distribution in North and South America. They just launched in December and already got over 1 million sign up in just 1 month. So this year, we're going to raise a different round for this company. And also we're aiming to bring at least 200 million signups onto this app from the crypto world and outside the crypto world. And all of these users, we want them, at least half of them, we want to convert them into the crypto user. We're going to build internally, build the IOST wallet into that app. And we're going to have people basically, use IOST token and use the apps built on top of the IOST network. So we will be working very hard. I think we will be exploring a lot of opportunities to explore the ecosystem. In the next year, I've been talking about this on Twitter in the last week because it was Chinese New Year, and we just had our annual company meeting a week ago. I was telling the team that this year we only have one specific goal, is to bring at least 100 million users into the IOST network. And I think we're going to do this.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry, the response was kind of long, but we spent a lot of time on this, so I want to explain this thoroughly. So.
ありがとうございます。
Arata is Sabinode, right? Are you Sabinode, or maybe I have you have maybe both last time?
Is it working now or?
For Arata, Arata has Sabinode has. Okay, well, okay. I'm going to move to next question, and yeah, POB is an interesting consensus algorithm, and I read the white paper, and it made me point that I thought it's remarkable, and many people want to ask how that idea was born.
Of POB?
Yeah, POB.
Yeah, so I think, when we were working on IOST, the 3 of the most, I think, popular consensus protocol out there were proof of work, proof of stake, and delegated proof of stake, which was a variation of proof of stake. I think proof of work, which is the one that Bitcoin is using, the majority, I mean, there are problems there. One of them is basically, it's basically wasting some resource, and it's quite slow as well. So we wasn't really paying attention to build a project that were proof of work based. So we look into proof of stake based and DPoS based project. Then we soon realized the problem that, no matter for any proof of stake system, no matter how you change or whatever, like sometimes it results in 2 issues. One of them is the centralization problem, where in order to make the network faster, you don't want 30,000-40,000 nodes to reach consensus together, right? So basically, you want to have fewer nodes. But theoretically, if you only have what EOS has, which is 21 nodes, obviously you're faster. But you're quite centralized, right? On the other hand, if you only have a vanilla proof of stake system, although it's probably faster than the POW, but there are other problems too, including how you make sure rich people doesn't get richer, right? Because they have enough tokens, so they have more, then they're more powerful. And also, theoretically, it does not increase the speed of the network, right? If you have 30,000-40,000 nodes, and they had to reach consensus together, even your proof of stake system, you can't really, break the bottleneck. You're still going to be quite slow, and the latency is probably going to be quite high. So, excuse me. So I think for us, we've been trying to design a system that can basically balance the decentralization part and the the scalability part, right? So that's how we came up with the POB system. POB system in general is super straightforward. We don't need to go into too much details here, but basically we have an actual layer called reputation in the system, right? So for a node to become the part of the consensus protocol, you have to gain enough reputation. So it's like real world here. If you're a billionaire, but you don't have a good reputation, people don't need to like you. So we introduce similar concept here, except we don't use this based on people's opinion, but we code this in onto the blockchain. So we have a second layer of token here called survey. When you're in the network, the more work you do, the more reputation you can get, and the higher reputation you have, the higher chance you can be selected to produce the block. And right after that, you get rewarded. Your reputation get cleared out. Then you have to do the good work again. So we've been trying to convince everyone in the network to do the good work and trying to balance the decentralization part and the scalability part. If you're interested, check out our Medium. I think we have an article in Japanese talk about how exactly proof of believability system works, if you're interested. But in short, you just need to know that we are able to accomplish 8,000 transactions per second, layer one only, with a fully decentralized network. And I think we're the first one that has done this. And you're going to see the result in a month. And right now, if you're interested, you can play with your testnet. It's already public. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So yeah, I see that how logical way, kind of a logical way you went through, and I want to story. I want to ask a story about that idea was born among your team, and maybe you and Trans, and both of them are both of you are remarkable background and thought, and I want to ask about how what occurred.
So the idea, I mean, to be honest, it wasn't that interesting. It's not like we had a aha moment or something. I think it's more like an internal discussion between the team. So I've been in crypto market for I think 6 years, 5.5 years. So the first Bitcoin I bought was in 2013, right? And the first Ethereum I bought was in 2015, right after the Ethereum launch. So I know quite a lot about the Ethereum network, and at first I think we have a lot of belief in the Ethereum network, and we think people can host a lot of things on Ethereum. But the more we understand about blockchain as a technology, I think the more we realize that Ethereum is not enough, and the direction that Ethereum is going, to be honest, we don't quite agree with that. So that's how we started IOST, and how we figured out this POB consensus protocol, where we think you have to build something that users and developers can actually use, right? Because if you build a network and it only supports like 10, 20 transactions per second, and with a really high latency, although blockchain has some benefit, it basically builds trust between people. Basically you can build a trustless thing where people can still do transaction with ease. But I think the downside is too big right now, right? Practically, you cannot have any commercial applications built on top of it. You cannot have any mass adopted applications built on top of it. So, we want to solve that. That's how we came up with the whole thing. And I think we've done this. I think 2019 is still going to be the year for us to grow the ecosystem, but we have the fundamental here already. And, we're looking forward to bringing IOST to more people.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Dr. Ishida is joining us, and we have a question for you. And石田さん、います？
はい、大丈夫です。聞こえますか？
Let's do
はい、
connect.
聞こえます。
Okay.
では、ご質問の方お願いします。
Hello, Jimmy.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
So we are developing the blockchain game. First, based on the Ethereum, and the second, we are now developing the blockchain game on the IOST right now with Dr. Wada. So the question I have is just one thing. Now, I attended the blockchain game show held in Korea last week, and I see nobody can solve the mass adoption problems right now.
Yeah.
So, what is the point of mass adoption of creating the blockchain game?
Yeah. So I think that's a great question, and we actually have a secret project that we're internally working, that we're trying to solve this. I cannot disclose the whole thing, but I want to talk about this briefly right now. So right now, I think one of the biggest problem with blockchain gaming is that it's very, very hard for a regular person to use a wallet, and it's very hard for people to understand how the transaction works and paying for this and transferring token. It's complicated, right? But if you look at traditional gaming industry, it's very straightforward. You just basically create an account, go inside and play, right? So how can we basically make this gap smaller? Obviously, we cannot just straight up solve the whole problem, but we can make this better, right? So internally right now, we are actually building a project that's going to enable a regular user to basically, as long as you know how to use an exchange, as long as you know what is crypto, you will be able to play blockchain games. We actually have a pretty sophisticated system, and here you don't have to, as long as you have, say, if you're playing EOS game or IOST game, right? You don't need to understand how CPU works. You don't need to stake token. You don't need to understand how decentralized exchange or wallet works. We have this portal for you to basically play, and in a semi-decentralized way. There will be some centralized components temporarily, but your token will be still stored on your own side. And we have figured out a way to resolve this. The project hasn't been launched yet. It's going to be launched together, I think, in March with the IOST mainnet, right after the IOST mainnet launch. So if you guys are building games on IOST, it's going to be very exciting. We are confident that we can bring a lot of users into the game because of this tool, and also because the traffic we have. I think we're just talking about the ecosystem a few minutes ago that I think in North and South America as well, we're building this blockchain-based news feed and also a short video thing that we already got over 1 million sign up in just 1 month. And the growth is very, very fast. It's over 50% week over week. So we are able to bring a lot of traffic into our games too, especially with the tool we have. I think it's going to be very easy for people to play. I think right now it takes time for a regular non-technical person to understand the technology. So I think the whole industry is working towards the same direction. But we're super excited with the tool we're launching. It's still confidential, so I cannot talk about it in too many details. But in 1 month, we're going to launch this project. I think as long as you know how to use, say, Coinbase, you will be able to use our tool and play all of the apps on IOST.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。そうですね。じゃあ次で多分最後の質問になりますかね。ちょっと探しますね。Maybe it will be Last question. Okay. The last two questions I will have.
Yeah.
IOST are working on B2B also. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
What kind of B2B exactly do you plan to commit to?
Yeah, so we're working on three things in general. Number one is to government. So we're working with actually, this is not a public plan yet, so we cannot disclose too much details, but we're working with the government trying to resolve some problems inside the government, trying to basically boost the efficiency in certain sectors of the government, because you guys probably know that all the governments, they keep a lot of files in different ways, and a lot of records right now can be tampered. And then with the technology of blockchain, they can save a lot of human resource. They can also save some cost here, maintaining their database, and also maintaining their records. So that's to the government. To business wise, so number two is we are working with financial institutions like PwC Europe and a few other institutions. Be in touch with multiple people inside those companies, trying to see if we can boost their internal efficiency in terms of monetary service, right? So those are banking or financial related stuff. And I think last but not least, we are working with larger developer groups like gaming companies, or content distribution companies, or existing traditional internet companies, right? Trying to bring their product onto blockchain to work with IOST, thus we can bring more users to the IOST network.
Thank you very much. So, I didn't expect that you're working for government either, so it's happy to hear that. Okay. Okay, last question. Okay. It's from, okay, I will ask one question. Proof of believability, POB, it's remarkable, as you mentioned, and many developers mentioned. And many consensus algorithms are struggling and suffering to break trade-off and trilemma. What's their core concept or break that trilemma and trade-off in short?
So the strategy of bringing foreigners. Sorry, I didn't quite understand the question. Like, what's your strategy of what?
Yeah, many consensus algorithms are planning to break the trade-off of maybe speed and decentralization and security.
Oh,
and,
I see. The triangle.
That, yeah, and that triangle and the capsarium triangles and the triangle in this
I understand.
Department, and it seems that POB are breaking that trilemma. And what's the core idea of breaking that?
Yeah. So first of all, I think the concept of the triangle is just a made up concept. So people mention this idea that to accomplish data consistency and decentralization and scalability together is very hard, right? So for example, if you work on sharding and DAG, you're sacrificing data consistency, which is the core of smart contract. And if you're working on scalability, say the way that EOS and Tron has, you're giving away decentralization completely, which only 21 or 17 nodes are involved. And if you're working on decentralization and data consistency, you have things like Ethereum and Bitcoin, which they don't scale at all, right? So, for us, I think that nobody has really, break the whole triangle thing. I think we're trying to find a balance and we're trying to be more efficient, right? So obviously, say we have, Ethereum right now probably have 30, 40, if not 40, 50,000 nodes, right? So we're not going to have that many nodes. We're probably going to have a few thousand or 1,000 or 2,000 eventually, right? So we're not exactly that decentralized, right? But in the same time, you will notice that, Ethereum, although they have 30, 40, 50,000 nodes, a lot of them were combined together as mining pools, right? Same as Bitcoin. So they're not exactly as decentralized as you think, right? So I think while we can scale to the EOS level even faster, we're trying to be more efficient on this character. So basically, with our superior technology, we can always sacrifice less and achieve more, right? So that's the key. So here, we sacrifice less decentralization and achieve a lot more on the scalability part. So we're able to get, really, really fast without giving away too much, right? I'm not saying we didn't give away anything, but say EOS probably gave away 99% of decentralization, right? So we probably gave away 10%. So that's the difference. And we're able to get even faster than EOS. So I think it's a different technology. And we did, I think, build a better thing. So for any of you guys that are interested, stay tuned. I think, or the apps and ecosystem or anything is going to be very interesting. I'm pretty confident that in the next year, you're going to hear IOST's name a lot.
Thank you very much. Awesome. Okay. It seems that my part have done. Thank you again. Thank you for having time with us and sharing your vision. And I'm really, we are really glad to talk with you all on behalf of all the IOST Japan community. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. Yeah.
Okay, next. Okay, I will contact to Mr. Otter.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.